Virgo, tomorrow brings massive news. If you clicked this video, your spirit already knows a call or message is about to change absolutely everything. Something is happening behind the scenes right now, and someone's silence is about to shatter. But here is the twist: this isn't just a casual hello. This incoming message carries a heavy apology, a secret confession, and an ego death they've been desperately trying to avoid. They're sweating over a third-party situation, wondering if they've pushed you away for good. Why the sudden panic? Because you pulled your energy back and they finally realized they lost their only true anchor. Before we dive into this intense timeline, drop a 111 in the comments to claim this incoming energy and hit subscribe so you don't miss the exact moment this unfolds. This reading already feels incredibly intense, Virgo. I barely shuffled the deck, and the energy just jumped out. It feels urgent, magnetic, and honestly, impossible to ignore. If you are listening to this right now, it is not a coincidence. You are meant to hear this message today, at this exact hour, because something has been building quietly in the background of your connection. This does not feel random at all. Someone cannot stop thinking about you. In fact, they're obsessing over you at a level that would probably shock you. What I'm picking up on right now is a very active, very anxious energy surrounding your love life. It feels like you have been sitting in this strange space of waiting, or maybe you've actively decided to just walk away. You've been in your own head, trying to rationalize everything as you always do. You are trying to be logical about a situation that is deeply emotional. But here is the thing, Virgo, no matter how still you try to keep your outside world, the energetic world around you is moving at lightning speed. There is a truth that has been delayed for too long, and the universe is stepping in to force it out into the open. Have you been feeling that tightness in your chest? Have you been waking up at odd hours of the night, sensing that someone is trying to reach out to you telepathically? Are you seeing repeating numbers, maybe catching the clock at exactly 11:11, and wondering why this specific person keeps infiltrating your thoughts? That is not just your imagination running wild. That is energetic communication. Your intuition has been screaming at you, telling you that a shift is coming. You need to trust that intuition. You need to trust that deep, knowing feeling in your gut that says something is about to break. For some of you, this person's energy is incredibly heavy. It feels like they are standing on the edge of a cliff, trying to gather the courage to jump. They are watching your social media. They are checking your online status. They are looking for any tiny sign that you might still be open to them. But they are terrified. It feels like they are completely paralyzed by their own fear. They want to reach out, they want to call you, but they have built up so much resistance, so much pride, that they don't even know how to begin the conversation. They know they messed up, Virgo. They know they mishandled your heart, and that guilt is eating them alive right now. It feels like this person has been operating under the illusion that they had all the time in the world. They thought you would always just be there, waiting patiently, ready to fix everything. But the energy shifted dramatically, didn't it? You stopped chasing. You stopped overfunctioning. You pulled back your beautiful, healing Virgo energy, and suddenly, their entire world went cold. They are realizing that you are not a backup plan. You are not an option. And that realization has sent them into a full-blown spiritual panic. Here's the thing about this connection. There is a deep, karmic thread tying you two together. This is not a random, fleeting romance. This is someone who was placed in your life to trigger massive spiritual growth, and vice versa. But they got lost. They got distracted by ego, by outside noise, maybe even by other people. Yet, underneath all of that superficial chaos, their soul is anchored to yours. They cannot escape you, no matter how hard they try to distract themselves. This person may seem incredibly detached on the surface. They might present this cold, unbothered face to the outside world. But underneath that mask, they're completely overwhelmed. They're drowning in their own feelings for you. The contrast between what they show and what they actually feel is staggering. They are terrified of the depth of their own emotions. They didn't plan on falling this hard for a Virgo. They didn't plan on needing you this much. And now, they are sitting alone with that realization, trying to figure out how to crawl out of the hole they dug for themselves. There is a sudden shift happening in the spirit realm regarding this person. The illusion is breaking. They are waking up. They are having profound dreams about you. They are hearing your voice in their head. They are seeing your face everywhere they go. They are being spiritually cornered. The universe is showing them that no matter what they do, no matter who they surround themselves with, nobody compares to you. Nobody heals them like you do. Nobody sees them the way you do. The question is, Virgo, are you ready for the veil to drop? Because this energetic pressure is not just going to dissipate into thin air. It is building toward a climax. It is building toward a moment of truth. The energy is demanding a release, and it is going to happen very, very soon. I am feeling a massive sense of urgency around tomorrow. It feels like a deadline in the spiritual realm has been reached. They can no longer keep this inside. They can no longer hide behind their pride or their silence. You have been doing the work, Virgo. You have been grounding yourself, protecting your peace, healing your wounds. You have been stepping into your own power. And because your energy is now clean and grounded, you are forcing their energy to match yours. You are acting as a mirror. They are looking at you and seeing everything they need to heal within themselves. That is why they are so fixated on you. You represent their safe harbor, but you also represent their deepest insecurities. Right now, they are pacing. They are staring at their phone. They are drafting messages and deleting them. They are picking up the phone and putting it back down. They are spiraling. They are terrified of rejection, but they are even more terrified of losing you permanently. They know that if they don't speak up now, they will lose you forever. And that is a reality they simply cannot accept. This connection is active, it is alive, and it is demanding to be acknowledged. The spiritual pressure on this person is immense. They are being pushed, guided, and practically forced by the universe to step forward and speak their truth. The hidden feelings, the obsession, the regret, it is all reaching a boiling point. Something has to give. The foundation of the wall they built is cracking, and it is about to come crashing down. Are you prepared to see what's hiding behind that wall? The truth is about to come to light, and it is going to change the dynamic of this connection forever. The energetic hook has been set, and the timeline is accelerating rapidly. Let's dive deeper into exactly what is happening within this person's mind, because their inability to let go of you is not just about physical attraction or missing a text message. It goes so much deeper than that. What I'm picking up on is a profound, almost terrifying awakening that you sparked inside them. You need to understand that before you came along, this person was operating on a very superficial frequency. They were navigating their love life through ego, through pride, and honestly, through a lot of emotional immaturity. But then you arrived, Virgo. Your energy is so pure, so grounded, and so fiercely authentic that it completely dismantled their defenses. You awakened a part of their soul that had been dormant for years, maybe even lifetimes. You didn't just love them, you saw them. You looked past the flashy exterior, past the walls they built, and you recognized the wounded child hiding underneath. And while that beautiful connection brought them a sense of peace they had never felt before, it also scared them absolutely senseless. Here's the thing about people who run from deep love. They run because they feel unworthy. This person looked at your light, your consistency, and your healing energy, and they felt a massive wave of inadequacy wash over them. They realized that in order to keep a Virgo like you, they would have to step up. They would have to face their own shadows, dismantle their ego, and do the actual work. And let's be honest, they weren't ready for that. They were too entrenched in their karmic baggage, too attached to their need for control, and too prideful to admit they needed to change. So, what did they do? They sabotaged it. They created distance. They may have pulled back, started a fight over absolutely nothing, or, what I am strongly seeing here for some of you, they allowed outside interference to pollute the connection. There is a strong sense of a third-party situation, or at the very least, the heavy influence of other people's opinions. Maybe they listened to friends who didn't understand your bond. Maybe they kept one foot in a past relationship because it felt safer than the profound vulnerability you required. They chose the easier, shallower path. But here is where the twist comes in. By stepping into that lower frequency, they didn't find the happiness or the freedom they were hoping for. Instead, they found emptiness. Absolute, crushing emptiness. The contrast between what they had with you and what they're experiencing right now is destroying them. They cannot let go of you because you became their baseline for what real love feels like. Every time they try to move on, every time they try to engage in something superficial, your energy is there, haunting their thoughts. They close their eyes and they see your face. They hear your voice echoing the truth you spoke to them. You are the ghost in the room of every new connection they try to build. They are realizing, very painfully, that they threw away a diamond to play with some shiny rocks. And the jealousy, Virgo? Oh, it is palpable. This person is watching you from a distance, and they are seeing you glow up. They are seeing you step into your power, looking better than ever, radiating a frequency that is drawing in abundance and attention. You are no longer waiting by the phone. You are no longer pouring your healing energy into a bottomless cup. You have pulled your energy back, and it is driving them completely insane. They are realizing that you are moving on. Not necessarily because you want to hurt them, but because you finally recognized your own worth. And that is their worst nightmare coming true. Their ego is taking a massive hit. They thought they were the prize. They thought you would just sit there and tolerate their inconsistency forever. Now that you have walked away, now that you have gone silent, they're experiencing a profound ego death. What I'm picking up on is a deep, agonizing regret. It feels like a heavy weight sitting right on their chest. They cannot sleep. Their appetite is completely off. The avoidance tactics they used to use, distractions, social media, other people, are no longer working. The universe has stripped away their comforts, leaving them alone with their thoughts of you. They are being forced to sit in the mess they made. They are confused because their pride is still telling them to hold back, but their soul is screaming at them to run back to you. This inner conflict is tearing them apart. They want to reach out so badly, but the fear of rejection is paralyzing. They know they wronged you. They know they have to face the music. They know that a simple, "I'm sorry," isn't going to fix the deep wound they left in your heart. For some of you, this person is currently dealing with the karmic consequences of their actions. That third-party situation? It is falling apart. It is failing miserably because it was built on a foundation of lies and escapism, not true love. They are looking at the life they chose over you and realizing it is completely barren. They traded a golden connection for a dead-end street. This person cannot let go because you are the only person who ever truly held them accountable. You are the only one who saw through their BS and still chose to love them. They miss your intellect, they miss your warmth, and they deeply miss the safe harbor you provided. They are clinging to the memory of you because it is the only thing keeping them afloat right now. But the guilt is heavy. It feels like a shackle around their ankles. They know they have to confess. They know they have to come clean about the things they hid, the lies they told, and the emotions they suppressed. The truth is burning a hole in their throat. They are choking on the words they never said to you. They are realizing that their emotional immaturity cost them the best thing that ever happened to them. And as they watch you ascend, watch you heal, and watch yourself attract better, the realization hits harder. They might have lost you forever. This is not just a passing phase of missing someone, Virgo. This is a spiritual crisis. They are undergoing a massive awakening, and you are the catalyst. You are the focal point of their entire spiritual transformation right now. They cannot let go because their spirit recognizes yours as its home. And the pressure of being away from home is becoming too much for them to bear. The illusion is shattering. The false pride is crumbling. The only thing left is the raw, undeniable truth of their feelings for you. But what exactly changed to push them over the edge? What was the exact moment that broke their silence and forced them to face reality? Virgo, let's talk about what actually shifted, because this is where the story takes a massive turn. The old cycle, that exhausting push and pull dynamic you've been trapped in for far too long, it is officially dead. It ended the moment you decided to stop playing the game. What I'm picking up on here is a profound change in your energy. You stopped overfunctioning. You stopped being the only one trying to bridge the gap, the only one willing to have the hard conversations, the only one holding the connection together with your bare hands. You finally realized that your silence is louder than any argument you could ever start. And when you withdrew your energy, when you stopped checking their social media, stopped waiting for them to validate your worth, and started focusing entirely on your own glow-up, that is when the entire dynamic flipped on its head. Here's the thing about a Virgo's silence. It is deafening. When you are done, you are done. You don't lash out, you don't seek revenge, you simply vanish. You become a ghost in a life that used to revolve around them. And that absolute detachment is exactly what broke this person. They were waiting for you to get angry. They were waiting for the dramatic reaction, the tearful phone calls, the begging. It feeds their ego when you fight for them. But when you just quietly packed up your energy and walked away, that was the ultimate ego death. The turning point wasn't a massive explosion. It was the quiet realization that you were no longer theirs to control. They woke up one day and realized the safety net was gone. The unconditional love you used to pour into them, it evaporated. And the panic that set in was absolute. For some of you, what changed was a very specific moment of jealousy. They saw you out living your life. Maybe you posted a picture looking absolutely incredible, radiating a frequency of joy that they haven't seen from you in a long time. Or maybe they heard through the grapevine that you were moving on, that someone else was showing interest in you, or that you simply weren't available anymore. Whatever it was, seeing you thrive without them acted like a shock to their system. It triggered a deep, primal fear of loss. They realized they no longer had a claim on you. They realized that by taking your presence for granted, they had essentially handed you over to someone else, or at least, handed you over to your own independence, which is arguably their biggest fear. A happy, healed Virgo who doesn't need them? That is their worst nightmare. And then the karmic consequences started rolling in. Remember that third-party situation? The distraction they used to avoid the depth of your connection? It is crumbling right before their eyes. The illusion is shattering. The person or situation they thought was going to be a fun escape has turned into a cage. They are realizing that the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And they left their garden to die. What changed is that they are now experiencing the stark contrast between the profound, soul-level peace you offered them and the chaotic, superficial drama they chose instead. They are sitting in the rubble of their own bad decisions. They are missing you so badly that it physically hurts. It feels like a phantom limb. They reach for their phone to text you about something funny that happened, and then remember they lost the right to do that. They hear a song that reminds them of you and have to pull their car over because the grief is so overwhelming. This person has been hit with a sudden, brutal clarity. The spiritual blindfold has been ripped off. They are seeing the connection for exactly what it was, a divine intervention. They are recognizing that you were sent to heal them, and they pushed you away out of sheer stupidity and fear. And the universe is not letting them ignore this realization. Spirit is sending them signs relentlessly. They are seeing your zodiac sign everywhere. They hear your name in random conversations. Every time they try to distract themselves, something pulls their attention right back to you. It is spiritual pressure. The divine is cornering them, forcing them to face the truth they tried so hard to bury. The question is no longer if they will reach out. The energetic pressure is too immense. The question is when and how. They have lost complete control of this situation, Virgo. You hold all the cards now. They know it, and more importantly, you know it. They are standing at a crossroads. They can either continue to let their pride destroy them, or they can swallow their fear and step back into the light of your energy. But they know, that coming back to a Virgo requires total honesty. No more games, no more half-truths, no more hiding. The old version of this relationship is gone. If they want you back, they have to meet you at your new frequency. They are watching you glow, watching you heal, and watching yourself attract exactly what you deserve. And the fear that you might truly be gone forever is pushing them to the absolute brink. They are about to crack. The silence is about to break. But what exactly are they feeling right now, in this exact moment, as they stare at their phone contemplating reaching out? What are the specific emotions driving this impending confession? Virgo, the energy I am tuning into right now is almost suffocatingly heavy. This person is not just missing you, they are being entirely consumed by the reality of what they lost. The feeling is so strong, so undeniable, that it is physically affecting them. They can't eat, they can't sleep, and they certainly cannot focus on anything else but the massive void your absence has left in their life. What they feel right now is a profound, agonizing obsession mixed with deep, paralyzing regret. Here's the thing, they tried to run. They tried to distract themselves. They threw themselves into work, into other people, into anything that could numb the sound of your voice echoing in their head. But none of it worked. The universe stripped away every distraction, leaving them alone in the dead of night with nothing but the truth. And the truth is, they are hopelessly, terrifyingly in love with you. What I'm picking up on is a massive spiritual awakening happening within them right now. They are experiencing a divine pressure, a cosmic push that is literally forcing them to confront their feelings. They are seeing your name everywhere. They are glancing at the clock and seeing repeating numbers like 1111 or 222, and every time they do, a sharp pang of guilt and longing shoots straight through their chest. It feels like spiritual intervention. The universe is telling them you messed up and now you have to make it right. For some of you, this person is actually angry at themselves. They keep replaying the moments they could have been better, the moments they chose their pride over your heart. They're stuck in a loop of what if? What if I had just been honest? What if I hadn't let them walk away? What if I had chosen Virgo? This inner monologue is torture for them. They are realizing that their emotional immaturity and their fear of vulnerability cost them the best thing that ever happened to them. And the feelings they are suppressing? They are volcanic. It's not just a passing crush or a lingering I miss you. This is a soul-deep karmic pull. They feel tethered to you. Every time they try to sever the cord, it snaps right back, pulling them closer to the realization that you are their divine counterpart. They feel your energy in their room at night. They feel your presence when they breathe. It is a terrifyingly beautiful connection, and they are finally admitting to themselves that they cannot live without it. What they want right now is a confession. They want to lay it all out on the table. They are choking on the apologies they never gave you. They want to tell you about the nights they cried over you, the moments they looked at a photo of you and felt their stomach drop, the realization that they traded gold for dust. They want to confess the truth about the third-party situation, the outside influences, and the fears that drove them to sabotage what you built. But here's where the emotional turn comes in. Along with that deep desire to confess, there is an overwhelming wave of shame. They are terrified to look you in the eye. They know they don't deserve you right now. They know that a simple, "I'm sorry," won't fix the cracks they caused in your heart. They feel unworthy of your healing energy, and that unworthiness is creating a massive internal block. They want to reach out, but the fear of rejection is paralyzing them. They are caught between the desperate need to hear your voice and the crushing fear that you will shut them down. They know you have evolved. They know you have leveled up. They see your aura expanding, and it intimidates them because they know they have to do the work to catch up. They want to offer you a commitment, a real, grounded partnership, but they are terrified they haven't done enough healing to be worthy of it yet. But the spiritual timing is pressing. The divine is telling them that they cannot heal this wound alone. They need you. Not in a codependent way, but in a way that acknowledges the profound soul contract between you. They want reconciliation. They want to rebuild the foundation, but this time, with honesty as the bedrock. They want to come back not just as a lover, but as a partner who is ready to hold your weight when life gets heavy. What they feel now is a complete dismantling of their ego. The walls have crumbled. The pride is gone. All that is left is a raw, exposed heart beating out a rhythm that spells your name. They are ready to surrender. They are ready to drop the sword and finally be vulnerable with the one person who always saw them clearly. They are pacing the floor right now, Virgo. They're staring at their phone, typing and deleting, trying to find the perfect words to express the magnitude of their remorse and love. The confession is bubbling up in their throat. The pressure is too much. They have to let it out. The truth is demanding to be spoken. But before they hit send, before they make that call, there is something else you need to know. There is a complication, a lingering shadow from their past, a piece of the old cycle that hasn't been fully cleared yet. And it could throw a wrench into this beautiful reunion if you aren't prepared for it. Virgo, as much as I want to tell you that this confession is going to be a perfectly wrapped gift with a neat little bow, Spirit is showing me there is friction here. There is a complication. And honestly, it's something you probably already know, but you've been trying to ignore it because you are so tired of the drama. Here's the thing. The outside energy is still lingering. For some of you, that third-party situation I mentioned earlier, it hasn't been fully cleared out yet. It feels like this person is standing with one foot in your door and one foot still stuck in the mud of their past. Now, don't panic. This doesn't mean they don't love you or that they aren't going to reach out. What it means is that they are tangled. They created a web of complications, and now they are struggling to get out of it without causing a massive explosion in their own life. What I'm picking up on is a heavy influence of social image and pride. This person cares deeply about how they are perceived by others. They may have played the field, or they may have allowed certain people to believe that they were completely done with you. They ran their mouth to friends, or maybe even to family, trying to save face after things went south with you. They put on a brave front. They acted like walking away was the best decision they ever made. And now? Now they are terrified of looking like a fool. The thought of admitting to the people around them, "I made a mistake, I need Virgo back," is causing them severe anxiety. Their ego is fighting a losing battle against their heart. There is a deep fear of judgment here. They are worried about the gossip. They are worried about what people will say if they suddenly come crawling back to the person they acted like they didn't care about. And let's talk about the emotional sabotage, Virgo, because this is crucial. This person is carrying some incredibly heavy karmic baggage. They have old wounds that are flaring up right now, whispering lies into their ears. Their avoidant attachment style is screaming at them to run again. The closer they get to picking up the phone and calling you, the louder their fear becomes. What if Virgo rejects me? What if Virgo takes revenge? What if I confess everything and Virgo uses my vulnerability against me? They know how sharp your mind is, Virgo. They know you don't forget anything. They are terrified that if they lay their heart bare, you will dissect their flaws and punish them for the pain they caused. They are afraid that your silence was a form of preparation, that you were gathering your strength just to shut them down completely when they finally tried to return. For some of you, there is also family pressure or outside opinions at play. Maybe their friends didn't understand your connection. Maybe they are enmeshed with an ex through children, finances, or living situations, and that person is actively trying to keep them away from you. The outside interference is real, and it is creating a massive roadblock in their mind. They feel like they are in a cage and they don't have the key. But here is where the energy shifts, Virgo. Despite all of this fear, despite the pride, despite the third party, and despite the looming threat of gossip, their love for you is bigger than all of it. The divine pressure is outweighing the human fear. They are realizing that living a lie to keep up appearances is killing them slowly. The facade is cracking. They are exhausted from pretending they are happy when they are actually drowning. The outside world might be telling them to stay away, but their soul is begging them to come home to you. They are reaching a breaking point where they simply do not care about the consequences anymore. They just want you. It feels like they are standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at the chaos of their life, and realizing that the only way out is to take a massive leap of faith. They know that coming back to you means they have to burn down the false life they built. They have to face the music. They have to face the third party and cut the cord. They have to tell their friends to mind their own business. It is a terrifying prospect for someone who has been living in avoidance, but the awakening is too strong to ignore now. The question is, Virgo, how much of this are you willing to tolerate? You see right through them. You know the complications exist. You can feel the entanglement. And while your heart wants the reconciliation, your Virgo brain is analyzing every single angle, preparing for the worst. You are not naive. You know that a confession doesn't instantly erase the mess they made. This person is going to have to prove themselves. They are going to have to clean up the debris of their own life before they can fully step into yours. And they know it. The guilt of bringing their mess to your doorstep is heavy. They want to come to you with a clean slate, but the universe is telling them they don't have the luxury of time anymore. The spiritual clock is ticking. They're caught in a storm of their own making, Virgo. The outside noise is loud, the fear is paralyzing, and the old wounds are bleeding. But the pull toward you is magnetic, undeniable, and absolutely unstoppable. The complications are there, but they are no match for the divine timing that is pushing this connection forward. So, with all this friction, all this fear, and all this outside interference, what actually happens tomorrow? How does this intense, chaotic energy finally translate into the message that is about to change everything? Virgo, the timeline we have been building toward is finally here. Tomorrow. That is the word echoing in the spiritual realm right now. The energy is climaxing, and what happens next is going to shift the entire trajectory of your love life. What I'm picking up on is a complete breaking point. The pressure that has been building behind the scenes is about to burst through the dam. Tomorrow, you are going to receive a communication. For some of you, it is a phone call. I'm seeing someone pacing with their phone in their hand, finally pressing the green call button. For others, it is a massive, paragraph-long text message. But this is not a casual, "Hey, how are you?" This is not a breadcrumb. This is not a late-night hookup text. This is a truth bomb. Here's the thing, they are going to lay it all out. The message is going to be heavy, emotional, and filled with confessions they have been choking on for weeks. They are going to admit their mistakes. They are going to apologize for the distance, for the pride, and for the outside interference. The karmic exposure is happening, Virgo, but it's coming directly from their own mouth. They are going to tell you that they cannot stop thinking about you. They are going to tell you that they made a catastrophic error in judgment. It feels like this person is finally dropping their sword and shield. They are walking into the arena completely unarmed, ready to surrender at your feet. The message or call is going to carry and offer a genuine desire for reconciliation and a serious conversation about the future. They want to rebuild. They want to know if there is still a place for them in your life. But let's talk about you, Virgo. Because while they are spiraling and finally stepping up, you are in a completely different energetic space now. You have detached. You have found your center. You have realized that the world does not stop spinning just because they decided to take a detour. The question is, how do you handle this incoming energy? Spirit's guidance for you right now is crystal clear. Protect your energy and do not rush. You do not need to reply the second you receive this message. Your immediate reaction might be to analyze every single word, to try to fix the problem, or to immediately jump back into caregiver mode. But that is the old cycle, Virgo. You are being asked to step into the new cycle. When this message arrives, take a breath. Let it sit. Let them sit in the discomfort of not knowing if you will respond. You hold the power now. You are energetically significant, and you need to let them feel the weight of that. Do not force the outcome. Do not orchestrate the perfect reply. Just observe. Trust your intuition. You will know immediately if their words carry the genuine frequency of change, or if it is just another desperate attempt to keep you on the hook. If it feels like another trap, you have every right to walk away. But if it feels like the real deal, if you feel the sincerity in their vibration, then you can open the door, but only a crack. You do not need to chase. You do not need to beg. You are the prize. You are the anchor they are desperately swimming toward. Let them do the heavy lifting. Let them clean up the complications. Let them prove that they are ready to meet you at your new frequency. For some of you, this conversation might not magically fix everything tomorrow. It might be the beginning of a slow, deliberate rebuilding process. There may still be hard conversations to have about the third party or the outside noise. But the ice is broken. The silence is shattered. The truth is finally out in the open. You have done the impossible, Virgo. You held on to yourself when everything else was falling apart. You let your silence do the talking, and it brought them straight to their knees. The awakening has happened. The divine timing is here. Tomorrow brings the shift you have been waiting for. Stay grounded, stay in your power, and let the universe handle the rest. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you so much for watching, Virgo. I'm sending you so much love and healing light. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading.